Okay, good times. To the market!
Right! Right! My turn!
And to think, I was ecstatic to finally participate in the famous Celtic Grand Market. What did I ever do to deserve this? Excuse me? You? I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to see me acting like such a pool expert. Hope you can forgive me for my inappropriate behavior. He seems really down. It's quite understandable. He's a merchant in a busy market, unable to do business. So, what brings you here? Did you need something from me? Well, actually, we're looking for Barney Cotton. Reen explained that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what had happened the previous night. You're investigating? That's right, and we'd really appreciate it if you could answer a few questions for us. You may be able to help us find the true culprit. I suppose it can't hurt. It's better than doing nothing, at least. It's obviously Steve Peterson. No doubt about that. You don't have to sound so pessimistic. Well, can you blame me? You're students at a military academy. You're not exactly ace detectives. Ace Ventura, even. That is true, but we're still determined to find out who did this. We may even be able to recover your goods. Cooperating with us could prove quite fruitful. Okay, fine. I never said I wouldn't help you, did I? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say, though. It's not like I saw anything worth mentioning. You didn't? As soon as I made sure my stall was ready to open the next morning, I left everything set up and went home. The other merchants around here can vouch for that. Guess I shouldn't have left the stall unattended, though. By the time I got in, it was too late. The deed had been done. There was white stuff everywhere. Though by morning, the stall had already been destroyed and your goods stolen. Come to think of it, what goods were stolen exactly? Oh, I have a sample with me, actually. An accessory? Is this a brand that's popular in the capital? Been a real hit lately, yeah. I was hoping to bring the fad here by selling them at the market. But this is the only one I have left now. I dread to think just how much money I lost in one single night. That damn coward. Sabotaging my business. Much too early to be jumping to conclusions. Do you have any evidence that proves his culpability? No, but he's clearly the prime suspect. He was so against the idea of taking turns sharing the spot with me, he decided he'd destroy my stall altogether. I just know it. I'm going to get him to give me my goods back no matter what it takes. Please try and stay calm. You do know that if you cause any more trouble, the provincial army really will arrest you, right? One part when a lady and some other people kept attacking each other over the dolphins. Yeah, I know. But it's a matter of justice. I can't just act like nothing ever happened. It's wrong. On general principle. Sarah went live. I'm begging you, please get my goods back, whatever it takes. Well, I can't promise success, but I swear to you, we'll do everything we can. That much I can promise. I think that's everything this merchant knows. Let's try questioning the other one. So we want to go talk to the other fart knocker. Not you. You. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Excuse me. I'm sorry to bother you, but could we have a moment of your time? Military helmet, even. You're those kids from the military academy, right? Well, what do you want from me? I've got nothing to sell you, obviously. Even if I did have something to sell, I've got no place to sell it. I'm basically ruined. And to top it all off, the provincial army and that other damn merchant are acting like I'm the one who did it. He's not taking this very well, is he? Hard to blame him, but we need to see if he knows anything that might help us. Well, you see, Reed explained that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what had happened the previous night. You're investigating this mess, huh? Okay. So would you consider cooperating with us? Sure, why not? Not getting my hopes up, as I'm sure you can understand, but hell, I've got nothing left to lose. Not exactly a vote of confidence. Hey, he's willing to cooperate. I say we cut him some slack and hear him out. So, about last night. That's a movie. At the time the incident actually happened. Last night, huh? I don't know how much help I can be if that's what you're asking about here. See, I left the market right after arguing with that merchant yesterday, and I didn't come back till this morning. I stayed over at a friend's place, lost a bunch of death matches in Twisted Metal 2, and just got pissed drunk and ran it at him all night. And you're certain of this? Positive. Ask my friend if you don't believe me. He'll back me up. I wandered over here with an awful hangover this morning, and what I found gave me a hell of a start. My whole stall in shambles. And as if that weren't bad enough, all the processed foods I was going to sell here just gone, without a trace. Also a show. So the goods that were stolen were all processed foods? That's right, nuts, cheese, bacon, all foods that have a long shelf life made with local ingredients. But sadly no monster cans. Seeing all my stuff gone really sobered me up. It was like I hadn't been drinking at all. And that's when I went over to that fool's stall to make him pay for it. Why did you go straight to him? Because he was the one who did it, of course. He smashed my stall so he could have that spot all to himself. But that doesn't make any sense. If Hines did it, then why was his stall destroyed too? Got you there. He must have done that to himself. Probably figured if he destroyed his own stall, no one would believe he would be responsible. I don't know. That seems pretty unlikely. It's a bit excessive. While I understand your frustration, baseless accusations do no one any favors and only cloud the true issue. But it's so frustrating. I've lost so much money because of this. I might have to shut up shop for good. That is bad. If I could at least get my goods back, maybe I can salvage enough to stay afloat. But what are the odds of that? None of the other merchants saw anybody do anything, and the provincial army sure ain't about to help. I'm finished. Pure and simple. All the hard work I put into getting this far, and this is how the dream ends for me. Well, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how much we'll actually be able to do for you. But we'll do everything in our power to help you find some form of closure. So cheer up, okay? I do appreciate that. But again, I ain't about to get my hopes up. Good luck, though. Thanks, General Pepper. That's all the two victims of this crime have to say, it seems. What does everybody think? I can't be sure, but I really don't think either of them is responsible. Both merchants certainly have adequate motive to damage the other's stall, but the chance of both committing the same crime on the same night without crossing paths is virtually nil. It's not impossible that they were just out to steal each other's merchandise, but I don't believe that's what happened. Both of them have alibis confirming that they were somewhere else when the crime took place. I'm inclined to agree. I just can't see either of these merchants being responsible for what happened. So we're going to have to look elsewhere to find viable suspects. Where, though? I mean, who could it possibly have been? Do you think it was Turner Gill? It's impossible to say right now. We don't have any solid leads. We know who the culprit wasn't, but how are we supposed to start narrowing down who it was? The market itself seems unlikely to produce any further clues, but we should focus our attention elsewhere. Actually, there is one thing that's been bugging me. There's one group of people involved in this whole situation whose actions don't seem to make any sense. Maybe if we can work out the reasoning behind their strange behavior, we can come one step closer to the edge and we'll be about to break. And to finding our culprit. Whom do you mean? I'm talking about... Of course, you want to say the Provincial Army. The Provincial Army. They haven't done a thing to try and solve their crime, despite it happening right under their noses. And that begs the question, why not? The market manager said they're refusing to fulfill their role due to the tax issue. Which means the Provincial Army should refuse to intervene in quarrels within the market as well. If that's the case, then why did they come and intervene this morning? Now that you mention it, that really doesn't make any sense. Their methods were atrocious, but the fact is, they brought that dispute to an end almost instantly. They did get involved. Yeah, one minute they're refusing to do anything, then the next they're taking a stand. It's definitely suspicious. My point exactly. There's definitely something unnatural about the way they're conducting themselves. And since we have no other leads, what do you say we go to the Army's guardhouse and take a look around? It's Limp Bizkit fucking up our town. We might be able to learn something from them that could aid us in our investigation. That may be worth an attempt. The guardhouse isn't too far from here either. Let's head on over and see what we can find. AP increased by 1 for making the right choice. We just want to head on over here like a bunch of pool experts. Aren't you those students from that military academy, was it? What are you doing here? We're terribly sorry to trouble you, but we were hoping you might be able to help us with something. Could we ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred at the Grand Market this morning? What? What does that have to do with you? Uh, um... We're visiting this town on a field study as students of Thor's military academy. And we would very much appreciate the chance to see how experienced soldiers such as yourselves handle difficult everyday situations. Seems a perfect opportunity for an anecdotal case study to prove most invaluable to our education, if you'd permit it. Alright, stay here. I'll see what I can do. Bum, bum, bum. It looks like we might be able to hear what they have to say for themselves after all. Nicely done, Laura. In times like these, we need to make good use of our positions. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn after all. Who's ready to learn? But now comes the hard part. This makes me nervous. Well, let's just wait and see what we can get out of them. Remember, it's not always what they say that matters, but how they say it. And even more importantly, what they don't say. Right, said Fred. I hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedules for this. So what do you want? And make it quick, I'm a busy man, you know. I've got a hot pocket in the microwave. He's not even trying to keep up appearances. Unbelievable. I'll be brief then. We came to discuss... We came to discuss the incident at the market this morning. Oh boy. Would we be correct in assuming that the Provincial Army will be conducting no further investigation? Is that all you came here to ask? Is that all? Could the armed forces charged with maintaining peace in this region not be taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure... You got a big mouth for someone your age. And it seems you have a lot to learn about how military units actually work. What do you mean? Let me ask you this. What should the #1 priority of the Provincial Army be in order to maintain the status quo? I'll tell you. Their #1 priority should be to enforce the will of their region's ruling lord, Duke Alberea. As members of the Provincial Army, the will of the nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect. I assume you're referring to the local petition against the sales taxing. So you're saying as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the Grand Market isn't something you have a duty to protect. Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers. We follow our orders. That's how the military works. And we don't need some fresh military academy inductees telling us how to do our jobs. This is nuts. Does he even have a tiny shred of shame? Nope. I was hoping we'd be able to get something out of him, but it sure doesn't seem too likely anymore. So is that it then? I hope this has been enlightening. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do. Job style. Wait. Would you mind answering just one more question? Elliot? Fine. Ask it. Well, do you have any idea what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant. All he had left was that one sample. What are you talking about? That merchant from the capital, Heinz, was the one who was planning on selling accessories. What? What did you just say? Oops. What are you all looking at me like that for? How do you know about that? I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all. How peculiar. We only discovered what each of the merchants was intending to sell a short while ago ourselves. Sir, we have our own way of finding things out. You'd do well not to underestimate us. Now, we've wasted enough time answering your questions. We're leaving. Wow. Do you think the fact that they know what each of the merchants was selling means they did investigate the matter after all? The burglary happened last night with burglar tools, and it was only first discovered this morning. Realistically, I don't think there was any opportunity during that time for them to do any digging. Not without running into us. Agreed. I suspect they knew what each merchant was planning to sell well in advance of yesterday's incident. Though that would be easy information for them to learn, since Duke Alberea must have issued permits for both stalls. That's true, and the army would have no trouble gaining access to transaction records for something like that. But why would they bother? Oh, maybe they needed to know so they could prepare. Get that preparation H going. Prepare for what? I get the impression that the incident at the market has been carefully planned out for a while now. I don't think those two merchants being given permits for the same spot was a coinkydink either. It was probably done to get them to start fighting, so they could get robbed while there was tension between them. Basically, to create a situation that couldn't be brought under control without the army's help. So the two merchants were being used all along. It seems to fit perfectly with what happened this morning. Meanwhile, the provincial army has shown no interest in actively working towards a solution. Unless the market manager chooses to withdraw his petition. So they waited for things to get out of hand, then showed up to force both parties into an uncomfortable truce. Eventually the merchants would get worn down enough that they'd feel like they have no choice but to withdraw the petition. It's turning out to be an even shadier situation than I thought. Surprised there's not a bunch of referees walking around. Yeah, but thanks to Elliot, I do believe we're finally uncovering the truth of the matter. That was indeed some very That was indeed some very quick thinking you displayed, Elliot. You'd make a fine military strategist. I just got lucky, that's all. So what we know is the provincial army is somehow involved with the actual perpetrators of this crime. The only way to solve it once and for all, though, seems to be, well, to find them and catch them. But if this was carried out by members of the provincial army, it's not going to be an easy task. No, I don't think anyone from the army was directly involved. Soldiers here are far too proud to dirty their hands with such escapades. I tend to agree. Really, whoever the culprits are, I doubt they're still here in Keldic. There just aren't many viable places to hide such a huge volume of goods, without them being found. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they escaped by train. No, that can't be. Boarding a train with that much merchandise would raise suspicion for sure. In less than a day since the burglary happened, they can't have gotten far. Maybe we should ask around on the main roads and see if anyone saw anything out of the ordinary. Someone suspicious may have been spotted leaving or entering the town. That sounds like a wise course of action. Come, let's resume our search. We mustn't let this cowardly thief run free. I wouldn't dream of it. Good times. So we want to go by the church real quick. And talk to her. Lulu, are you okay? Look what that nasty man did to her. Is something the matter? I was just chasing after Lulu near the west exit of the town. And there was this weird man asleep along the road, along the side of the road. He sure is. A weird man. To sleep in the midst of a bustling town like this, oblivious to its dangers, suggests that he must possess formidable skill. Or he was just really drunk. The nasty smell coming off of him nearly made little Lulu faint. That's terrible. It really was. I don't know who he is, but I'll have to keep an eye on Lulu to make sure he keeps her distance from him. So he's not from this town, then. I'm not sure. I only started seeing him around a few days ago. I've never seen him before that. Really, now. That sounds like a lead if I ever heard one. If he's drinking in the middle of the day and isn't Instructor Sarah, then we know he's not a merchant at the very least. Yeah, I think we should go talk to him. Let's have a look near the west exit and see if we can track him down. So now we want to go over and talk to Johnson. Johnsonville Brats, even. Drink! Bring me another drink! Ew! This guy reeks! How much has he put down? It's only midday, and he's already completely blitzed. I don't think this is the man we're looking for. He'd have trouble pulling off a robbery. Sir, are you alright? I can help you back home if you'd like. Shut up, leave me alone. I'm just good for just on the job. Looking after the nature park, wish my whole life. Nature park? You kids ain't heard of it. The Darien Nature Park, to the northwest of here. I used to be the park ranger for Gel Dump. And then you lost your job? Yeah, out of nowhere, too. I gave him a light to the jaw, I did, and then he came and took it all from me. That damn official just showed up out of nowhere and told me I was sacked. You can't take a man's livelihood off him like that. It's not fair. That job was my life. My life. That's too bad. Yes, we can see that. Something about this doesn't sound right. After dinner. I agree. It hardly seems fair to take a man's job away from him without good reason. Right. I'm so glad somebody's understands how I feel. There's no way a bunch of kids like that are gonna do a better job than me. Actually, I'm gonna have my Olive Garden leftovers from yesterday. Kids? I was drinking here last night too, see? And a bunch of kids in ranger uniforms went walking out of the town to the west exit. Weird thing was, it was carrying a bunch of wooden boxes too, in the middle of the night. Kids these days, I tell you. It's just not fair, I tell you. You don't think they could have been the nature park? I wouldn't even have considered it. But a park would no doubt provide a large enough area. It fits perfect. Yeah, they'd have no trouble stacking the merchandise there undetected. Lock the entrance, leave a couple of lookouts, and no one would suspect a thing for a very long time. And a provincial official was the one to tell him he was fired. That's practically a smoking gun. Huh? I said something useful or something. You know what I said, but if I help you out, why not buy me a drink? I would suggest you start trying to sober yourself up instead. There's a good chance we may be able to recover both your park and your job. What? You know our next stop. As soon as we're fully prepared, let's head on out to the Lunarian Nature Park. Right. And you know what that means? We're done. This is where the rest of the streams pick up from, I do believe. So we done. So we're gonna call it a stream here. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Almost 14 hours of gameplay. I'm gonna go have some dinner. And I shall see you all next time. That's it.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs. You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. Sorry, Link. I can't give credit. Come back when you're a little, richer.